1904, the British lands in Nairobi acquires the land now called the Kirimas land. They issue a title then called an indenture, giving it to foreigners, that land, for a lease of 99 years. My good friend Wakili Swiga has taken you through the several assignments and the amount that was supposed to be paid as lease to the government of the British colony. That time the currency was not Kenya shillings, it was the Indian rupees. The Wazungus paid the rupees. Later, they died. Several changes happened. The last one being succession matter of 1944, which is very critical. It was heard by the Majesty's Supreme Court and granted Dominico that land. Come 1965, 64, 63, Kenya acquires independence. We take the maps, the crown mutations, the crown documents, and they become Kenyan documents, and out of that, Dominico continues to have the land purportedly called the Kirimas land. After the death, the Dominicos go to court in the High Court of Kenya and get grants of succession. We have given the members of the Fourth Estate the succession course. That grant, nowhere does the Kirimas appear. The nearest name near to him is Kenyatta. He's not a Kenyatta. The matter is coming up before Justice Mutembei on the 11th of November 2023. This month, the matter of the Dominico succession matter is coming up. The Kirimas are not part of that debate. So the questions that arise, were the proper parties before Justice Okongo in Kisumu? The parties that were litigating in Kisumu were pretenders to be the owners of the land. The Kirimas pretended that land was theirs. The people who sued pretended to be the owners of the land. And that is why the judge, left with any document, granted the Kirimas those orders. We have now filed all these documents to the attention of the judge to review that decision. We have equally written a letter to the Director of Criminal Investigation to investigate the documents the Kirimas presented before the judge, to investigate the document the Dominican guy has presented, with a view of establishing which are the lawful, rightful documents of ownership. If any criminal act was done, then the DCI and the DPP will take action. We have equally written to the National Land Commission to investigate the titles of this land. How did this land move into the alleged Kirimas family? So we have presented documents. For those ones who have seen the judgment that was issued in Kisumu, no document was produced. The Dominican guy has the document, the original document. So we have moved to get stay of execution of those orders, because under the law, it is very clear that once discovery of materials that were not available at the time a judgment was entered or at the time the case was heard, the court is bound to review its own decision based on the new materials that we have presented before the court, which was not present at that time. The matter has been certified, and we are appearing before the judge on the 20th of this month, which is earlier than the date of eviction. The questions the owners of the property are asking, who do they deal with? as the rightful owner of the land. Is it Dominico? That is why we have presented this document to government agencies to certify if the documents that we have presented are genuine, and which we are sure are genuine, then the orders granted be vacated. Very fundamental conveyancing questions. Where is the stamp duty paid by Kirimas? Where is the sale agreement? Between who and who? Where is the grant that allowed the one who sold them pay? Where are the conveyancing documents that they have? Lastly, which bank account did they put the money? There is no land unless it's a gift to a son or to a wife. Where is the account they deposited money to Dominico to say they had a legitimate expectation that after paying consideration, then they have the land. So we shall stand firm with over the 500 people who have an equivalent of 5,000 family members who are likely to be evicted. And we'll be calling upon all government agencies, including the Minister, the Cabinet Secretary for Lands, who is the custodian of documents called land, to come out, plus the peers, and explain where did the government go wrong. And now that we have brought to the right information, we believe very strongly that that judgment will be set aside. The people of Mihango, the people of the purportedly called Kirimas, because with this document, there's nothing called the Kirimas estate. You can only have a nested if you are a son, or you are a daughter, or you are a beneficiary known by law of the deceased person. That is the only time you can be a party to a succession, to a matter called the estate of somebody. We strongly believe that we have supplied all these documents to all the media houses. We shall also supply the letters that we have written to all relevant agencies to move with speed, and we urge upon the fourth estate to be very critical on documents presented by us and documents presented by any other party, so that the whole country gets to understand the biggest fraud occasioned on these innocent Kenyans whose savings are at that place, whose health is at stake, whose children cannot go to school, whose religious places of worship are likely to be demolished. It is such a catastrophe, more catastrophic than what is happening in the Gaza Strip. Let us not create a Gaza Strip in this country by ignoring our own Kenyans, and we focus more on those ones outside this country. Any questions from the fourth estate? The one we have filed is coming on 20th. The succession matter of Dominico has a mention date on the 14th of November, before Justice Mutembei, the one that has produced the grant of letters. So members of the press follow the proceedings on 4th of November.